The story kicks off with a devastating truth about Cha Woo-sol. He is completely powerless and gets relentlessly beaten up by school kids for fun. He lives with a suffocating fear that he was born just to be a punching bag. The humiliation crosses a line when class bullies forcefully make him lick the toilet bowl. He silently endures their atrocities, until a sudden shift changes his life forever. A new transfer student named Bae Suk-chan arrives at the school, introduced as a national-level boxing champion. But the second the teacher leaves, Suk-chan reveals his true colors. He immediately targets the naughtiest kids in the class, beats them up badly, and declares himself the new boss. With the class bullies under his thumb, everyone else falls right into line. Suk-chan begins bullying the decent kids, and his eyes land on the weak boy, Woo-sol, first. Seeing Suk-chan harassing him, the boy's classmate tries to help, but Suk-chan beats her up too, pulling her hair while Woo-sol watches in pure terror. Seeing his friend treated this way, Woo-sol tells Suk-chan to stay away from her, but Suk-chan humiliates him in front of the whole class and slaps him hard, sending Woo-sol crashing to the ground. Woo-sol is completely deafened by fear. But when he sees Suk-chan moving in to bother his friend again, he picks up a nearby pen and points it at him. Suk-chan, convinced this coward won't do anything, brings the tip of the pen near his own neck and dares him to attack. To show off in front of everyone, Suk-chan goes one step further and brings the tip of the pen near his right eye. It's a fatal mistake, because Woo-sol is completely out of his senses. Woo-sol drives the pen deep into Suk-chan's eye, breaking it completely. Hearing his screams, the guards rush in and Woo-sol is arrested. Woo-sol is brought before a judge, who rules that his actions were not self-defense but an attempt to murder. He is sentenced to 3 years, his hands are tied, and he is sent to a juvenile prison for children under 18. Upon arrival, the guards order him to change into a jail uniform. Woo-sol is shaking with fear, but a boy with him asks what he did to get there. Woo-sol tells him it was for an attempt to murder. Instead of backing away, the boy extends a hand of friendship, which was vital to surviving in this jail. The prisoners are divided and sent to their cells, where Woo-sol meets a fat man who explains the rules. The jail is split into 2 criminal groups, each with its own captain. The fat man introduces their captain, Kim Sang-min, explaining that he always tries to keep peace and never bothers anyone. Woo-sol feels he will be safe, but his luck runs out. The leader of the other group raises his hand on Sang-min's man. Sang-min delivers a last warning, telling him it won't be right if he does it again. That leader acts afraid at first, but later stabs his own partner in the stomach, injuring him badly, and tells the guards that Sang-min did it. The guards put Sang-min in a dark cell for a month. With Sang-min out of the way, Han Sung-yong takes control of the jail and starts bothering Sang-min's people, beating anyone whenever he wants. The fat man warns Woo-sol and his friend that while Sang-min and Sung-yong are powerful, there is a man named Du Hian whom they cannot defeat together, who is serving life imprisonment for murdering 3 people. The fat man tells them that if they don't know how to fight, they need to disappear, walk looking down, and make sure no one pays attention to them. While explaining this, Sung-yong demands 2 men for his group. Everyone moves back out of fear, but poor Woo-sol accidentally stands ahead, so he and his friend are forced to join them. Sung-yong is playing a football match and tells Woo-sol to kick the ball and win the team. But while playing, Woo-sol gets confused and accidentally kicks Sung-yong's private part, causing him to fall to his knees in pain. Woo-sol realizes he is in massive trouble. In the evening, Sung-yong and his people surround Woo-sol, forcefully holding him and trying to take him to a corner to teach him a lesson. Woo-sol is completely broken and deafened by fear. But then he sees Du Hian passing by. Knowing he will be beaten like this for the next 3 years if he doesn't fight, Woo-sol manages to get free, runs over, and falls at Du Hian's feet, begging for help. Sung-yong comes over, telling Du Hian to mind his business and claiming they just want to talk to the kid. In a calm tone, Du Hian tells him to let the boy go. Sung-yong tells him not to try to be a messiah, demanding he hand over the boy. Du Hian ignores him and moves on, but Sung-yong attacks him, hitting him repeatedly. Du Hian doesn't even flinch. He slaps Sung-yong hard, and when Sung-yong won't stop, Du Hian knocks him unconscious with a single punch. Sung-yong's total defeat lowers his pressure, and he burns to take revenge on Woo-sol. Woo-sol's friend tells him to kneel and apologize, but right then, Woo-sol is called to the visiting room. Woo-sol walks into the visiting room and sees Suk-chan, who is now completely blind in one eye. Woo-sol is so scared his hands shake when picking up the phone. Suk-chan tells him his entire life and boxing career are ruined forever because of him, and that no one respects him at school anymore. Woo-sol apologizes, but Suk-chan removes his bandage, forces Woo-sol to look at his ruined eye, and swears that if there wasn't a glass wall between them, he would kill him right there. He promises to make Wu Sol pay the second he steps out of jail, vowing to make his life hell. Wu Sol breaks down crying, begging for mercy, but Suk-chan leaves. The intense fear steals Wu Sol's sleep that night. The next day, Sung Yong comes to him saying they still have to talk. Paralyzed with fear, Wu Sol looks through the window and sees Du Hian training. The moment the period ends, Wu Sol runs straight to Du Hian to thank him, but Du Hian ignores him. Wu Sol keeps returning every day, bringing him juice in hopes of a conversation, but gets nowhere. He learns that Du Hian was an MMA champion who brutally killed a crew of thieves who broke into his house and murdered his mother and sister. The court ruled it excessive force, denied self-defense, and handed him a life sentence. Wu Sol desperately wants him to teach him to fight, but Du Hian ignores him as time passes, while Suk-chan's threats haunt Wu Sol like a nightmare. One day, Wu Sol stands before him again, and Du Hian finally asks why he brings a packet of juice every day. Wu Sol says he wants to learn to fight to become strong like him. Du Hian asks if he wants power to kill, take revenge, or bother others, but Wu Sol just wants to live a normal life. Du Hian tells him to stop bothering him and resumes exercising, but Wu Sol runs after him, shouting and begging for help, recounting a lifetime of being beaten and pushed around. Pitying his bad condition, Du Hian agrees on one condition: you have to defeat me. Do 100 rounds of this ground in 40 minutes, and we can start training tomorrow. They start running, but Wu Sol's body is so weak his legs tremble badly and his breathing becomes fast, like he's on a ventilator. He forces himself through 50 rounds. He wants to stop, but knows Du Hian will never train him if he does, so he keeps moving. Memories flash of school kids trapping him in a storeroom and beating him severely. Du Hian completes his 100 rounds and tells Wu Sol to stop because he lost, but Wu Sol keeps running until he falls down the ladder, vomiting in pain and struggling to breathe. Lying there, he remembers the day he tried to commit suicide, and he breaks down, screaming loudly. Du Hian watches from a distance, thinking the kid has gone mad. Wu Sol gathers his remaining strength, gets up, and keeps running despite Du Hian telling him to stop, until his body collapses unconscious. The next day, the warden calls Du Hian, thanking him for the peace in the jail and offering him anything he needs. Du Hian requests one thing. Soon, a guard tells Wu Sol to pack his bags because he is being shifted directly into Du Hian's room. Du Hian asks if he knows how to do push-ups, but Wu Sol can't even manage 3 properly. After a full day of training, Wu Sol can only execute a workout a normal boy could finish in half an hour. His body can't even lift its own weight. Wu Sol asks for time to rest, but Du Hian tells him to go back to his old cell if he wants comfort. Not wanting to lose this hard-earned opportunity, Wu Sol tries again. The grueling routine continues the next day. Du Hian makes him pull heavy sandbags to build strength and even gives Wu Sol his own share of food. Hard work and proper guidance pay off, and Wu Sol gradually grows powerful, stunning the very prisoners who used to laugh at him. Meanwhile, out on the streets, Suk-chan has become a street goon after losing everything. One day, he encounters the people of a big businessman and beats them severely. Impressed by the violence, the businessman offers him a job, but Suk-chan shows him the middle finger and rejects it. The businessman doesn't like the attitude. He tells Suk-chan he will attack on the count of 3, and if Suk-chan escapes, his men will let him go. On the count of 3, he slaps Suk-chan hard. Instead of ordering his men to beat Suk-chan night and day, the businessman extends a hand of friendship, promising Suk-chan he can become even stronger if he stays with him. Suk-chan accepts the offer. Back in jail, Wu Sol's friend brings devastating news. Du Hian is being transferred to an adult facility soon. Wu Sol is deeply upset because he has no one else, and he loses focus during training. Du Hian explains that he must become strong on his own because he can't be with him forever, and they continue training intensely without wasting their remaining days. One day, Wu Sol sees Sung Yong's men brutally harassing his friend. He tries to stop them, but they keep beating his friend. Wu Sol had promised never to fight for no reason, but to save his friend, he unleashes a strike and hits one of them. Learning that Wu Sol hit his men, Sung Yong orders his people to bring Wu Sol to him at any cost. The next day, 2 inmates trick Wu Sol into following them for work. Wu Sol goes quietly to avoid bothering Du Hian and is led to the basement where Sung Yong is waiting. Wu Sol tries to apologize for hitting his men, but Sung Yong launches a savage attack. Wu Sol tries to hold back, but weeks of conditioning kick in. His body goes into automatic self-defense mode and lands a strong punch right on Sung Yong's face. Enraged, Sung Yong counters, but Wu Sol fluidly dodges his every strike. A fierce fight breaks out, but Sung Yong's sheer strength allows him to hurl Wu Sol like a sack of flour. Wu Sol punches him again, but Sung Yong grabs his collar and delivers a heavy beating. Believing the boy is finished, Sung Yong moves in, but Wu Sol gets back up and hits Sung Yong square on the nose with a powerful head but, breaking it. Wu Sol loses control, raining down strikes even after Sung Yong accepts defeat, and would have killed him if Du Hian hadn't stepped in to stop him. By defeating Sung Yong, Wu Sol becomes the most powerful prisoner in the jail. Du Hian praises him, noting that even athletes break under this training, yet Wu Sol pushed through to surprise them all. It is Du Hian's last day, and Wu Sol is visibly disappointed, but Du Hian encourages him, telling him this is his new beginning, that he is strong, and to turn his anger into strength and never give up. The guard takes Du Hian away, leaving Wu Sol alone. Sensing an opening, an inmate challenges him to a fight, promising to do whatever Wu Sol says if Wu Sol wins. Wu Sol isn't interested but agrees on one condition: if he wins, they must stop bothering any prisoner from now on. Meanwhile, Kim Sang-min is released from solitary confinement. His men tell him everyone knows what an ordinary boy did to their faction, insisting he settle the score to win back his lost honor. Sang-min meets Wu Sol and asks if he wants to take his place, demanding a fight, but Wu Sol refuses, shocking him. The day of the fight between Wu Sol and his challenger arrives, but Suk-chan visits Wu Sol again. Suk-chan sees there is no fear left in Wu Sol's eyes and knows Du Hian trained him, but he still considers him weak. Facing Suk-chan reopens Wu Sol's deep psychological wounds, and the intense fear returns inside him. In the yard, the challenger grows tired of waiting, assuming Wu Sol is scared, but Wu Sol finally appears, fully prepared. The fight begins, and the opponent proves to be a lethal fighter with incredible speed. They trade heavy blows, but his real strength is in his long legs, launching consecutive kicks that leave Wu Sol no chance to recover. Wu Sol tries to counter but is kept at bay by his reach. Realizing he must control his feet, Wu Sol times it perfectly, grabs his leg and slams him down, landing a heavy punch. The opponent counters, clasps Wu Sol, and throws him hard onto the ground, believing he has won. Wu Sol refuses to quit and drags himself back up. Stunned by his courage, the crowd watches as he attacks again, but this time Wu Sol catches his feet and punches, leaving him crippled on one leg. Wu Sol locks him in a suffocating chokehold until he struggles to breathe. Wu Sol holds tightly until the guards swarm in, arrest them, and throw Wu Sol into the solitary dungeon as punishment, where Wu Sol continues his training. Weeks later, Wu Sol emerges from solitary and goes with Kim Sang-min to meet Sung Yong. According to their promise, the defeated thugs can no longer bother anyone, but Sang-min proposes a permanent peace treaty. Until they are released, no one will fight each other. Sung Yong and Wu Sol agree to the peace. Wu Sol's loyal cellmate beams with pride, telling him he always knew he was special because even when he used to lose, he never quit like a coward. Complete peace settles over the jail, they all become good friends, and no one bothers the weak anymore, with the others even teaching Wu Sol their secret kicking techniques. Years pass, and the time comes for Wu Sol's release. The guard brings him out, but before leaving, Wu Sol visits the yard where Du Hian used to train him, breaking down in tears over the deep memories. He steps out, ready to live his life openly. On his way home, Wu Sol runs into Suk-chan, who has been waiting for him. Suk-chan hasn't changed at all, unaware that Wu Sol is no longer a weak boy. This time Wu Sol doesn't run, he stands and faces him. They collide with absolute violence, beating each other heavily. But soon, Wu Sol's old psychological memories catch up to him, making him scared and weak. Suk-chan taunts him, revealing that while Wu Sol was locked away, his mother came to Suk-chan on her knees, begging for forgiveness. Hearing this drives Wu Sol crazy with anger. He attacks Suk-chan with all his strength, but Suk-chan's boxing instincts cut through, delivering a heavy beating that leaves Wu Sol badly stained with blood. Suk-chan laughs, calling him the same weak boy who used to pee himself in front of him. Wu Sol stands up and fires an explosive punch square into Suk-chan's face, making his fake prosthetic eye pop out. Enraged, Suk-chan delivers a heavy kick that sends Wu Sol crashing far away, continuing a brutal storm of strikes. Suk-chan thinks he has won, but Wu Sol struggles back up and keeps moving toward him. Suk-chan slaps him repeatedly, but Wu Sol ignores it, steps inside, and beats him using his trained techniques. Both men are completely exhausted, but Wu Sol lands a devastating punch right to Suk-chan's remaining face, breaking his other eye and blinding him completely. Wu Sol could kill him in one blow but holds back, waiting for Suk-chan to swing blindly. They keep trading tired blows until they are heavily fatigued. Suk-chan throws one last desperate strike, But as Wu Sol raises his hand to counter, something unexpected happens. Sukchan gets terrified, flinches, and moves back. Pure fear of defeat is visible in Sukchan's eyes. Having won the psychological battle, Wu Sol doesn't need to prove anything else. He quietly gets up and walks away. This story teaches us that no human should ever be afraid of their weakness, because time gives everyone a chance to change. If a person completely commits to making themselves better instead of giving up, the very people who once humiliated them will one day be afraid to stand in front of them. If you loved this step-by-step breakdown of Shark, the beginning, smash that like button, share it, and subscribe to Cinemaned for more powerhouse content. Thanks for watching.